Afternoon, all. Chief Prepper here. So, you notice this. I just spent 4 hours in an emergency room. Well, three and a half, two and a half, three. Uh, I fell today getting some car parts out of my garage. I don't even know what I tripped on. I just went and looked at it. But needless to say, I went down on some fucking metal, put a 2 inch gash in my hand, quarter inch to half inch deep. Uh, was able to it was hurting. I was like, okay, I'll just go rinse it off. When I rinsed it off, I saw how deep it was, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to the emergency room. Drove myself to the emergency room, got checked in. Doctor took an X-ray of just to make sure there wasn't any metal in it, and then we irrigated it under the sink, and then he did it with some uh, sterile saline solution, and then numbed me up. I watched him sew me up. Uh, got a tetanus shot. I got some antibiotics because I have a heart murmur, so I'm prone to a danger of an infection going from anywhere in the body to my heart. I'm going to be on extra strength Tylenol for the next few days. I got 10 days, and then he said to come back if it starts oozing pus or if it bleeds a whole bunch or it's red and infected. Um, and I'll know that in the next 72 to 96 hours. So, modern medicine. This wound would kill me in a shit hits the fan event, even though I do have antibiotics, even the kind he prescribed me, the clindamycin. But I don't have access to a doctor. I don't have access to an x-ray machine, so there was no way to do that. The only thing a doctor could do was irrigate the shit out of it and then sew it up. So I did pay attention to how he sewed up the wound. So, and then more marks on my elbow. I think I got some on my legs. Uh, this is just an example of why we have a long life now. Years ago, this would kill people. So imagine the infections people would get on the battlefield from a gunshot wound or a bayonet stabbing or something like that. So the other thing is, this morning when I was getting going and before I started doing anything, this is not the plan. I watch pinball. I'm watching Full Spectrum Survival right now. It looks like he's going to talk about something similar, but basically, pinball was talking about the fact that Puerto Rico's grid's down for 3 to 7 days, like no power. All right, and then our aging infrastructure on electricity, we're down to some of the stuff we're using is 70 years old, right? So I've invested heavily in my own power generation and backup power and all this stuff, and I was starting to question it a little bit, but in the sense of spinning it just to have laying around. But apparently, there may be a risk to the grid going down. So that's 7 to 10 years for the grid to come back up from a cold start, because apparently it takes power to make power. Uh, Full Spectrum Survival just did a blurb about in 2019 they confiscated a transformer, coming into the country, and apparently it had a mechanical remote switch that could shut it off. I mean, I was talking to the doctor about this shit. It's like, because he asked me how I knew about super glue, because my plan was just to super glue it shut. But then when I rinsed it off, I'm like, nah, that's going to need a little bit more. So, you need to. I don't know how to post pictures on this stupid thing. Otherwise, I would, because I have a picture of the gash, and then I have a picture of the wound post suture. I've actually got to go take some pain medication and take some antibiotics here in an hour or so. My fingers still work. The gash was a quarter inch to half inch deep. It was through the meaty part of my palm, right in there, where my thumb was. So, you know, in the movies, it shows these motherfuckers getting stabbed and still fighting. For the record, once you get stabbed, you ain't fighting. So, this hurt me quite a bit, but I was walking in the house looking at it, going, that's a lot of blood, and then rinsed it off. I'm like, yeah. And this is just to my hand. This is not to your abdomen where your intestine is. Where if it breaks, then all that nasty shit that's inside of it goes into your body, and you get an infection and you die. So that's not medical advice. That's medical information. So there's a reason the body armor that soldiers wear is the torso, covering your lungs, your heart, and your organs, right? So yeah, all my plans just got put on hold for 10 days because that's how long it'll be before I can pull the stitches out. So yeah, be careful. I walked that path 1,000 times. Wasn't carrying anything big or heavy. I was carrying a fucking steering wheel. I was gonna put in the back of my car to take to a swap meet tomorrow and try to sell it. So, needless to say, that path is going to get way more decluttered. I'm going to move shit far left and far right. Yeah. Just wanted to give you that update. My hand is really starting to hurt right now. So, information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prep a lot, share love. Chief Prepper, out.